Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to my weekly massive 12-team parlay where I pick 12 different games, just the straight up money line, parlay them together, bet $100 and see if it wins. I did this last week and I think I was one game away from winning, and the game that cost me was a college basketball game, ladies and gentlemen. It was Oklahoma State and Oakland, of all teams. Oklahoma State was like an 18-point favorite, but just doing college football and the NFL. So it's 8 college football games and 4 NFL games, just picking the money line. Games that I think are auto locks, I'm parlaying them together on the money line, using the multiplier from the parlay and trying to win a bet. Basically, it's free money. It's a 12-team parlay. Let's be real. They're probably going to lose. It's just something fun to do and games that I think are definitely going to happen. So let's get right into it with my first game. It is Louisville Moneyline at Duke. Duke is just horrific. I believe Louisville is around 22-point favorites in this game. The line just keeps climbing. Yeah, Duke's really bad. And this is, I believe, on Friday night. So kick off the weekend. Nice little Moneyline game. Easy win. Lock, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine if this lost. Imagine the first game on Friday loses. That would be hilarious. But no, I think this is going to happen. Louisville 20-point favorites are around there. And Duke, just a horrific football team. Probably the worst team in the ACC right now. Ohio State Moneyline versus Michigan State. You know, I've talked about this game before. It's just a really bad matchup for MSU and Mel Tucker. Unfortunately, they have had a great season. Kenneth Walker, great player, Heisman potential. But let's be real, it ain't happening on Saturday afternoon in Columbus against that Ohio State elite offense. I have the Buckeyes minus 19 in this one, covering, but just give me them the money line there. Penn State money line versus Rutgers. Penn State around a 17-point favorite right now over Rutgers. They need this game. They're 3-4 in conference. I see no way they lose to Rutgers. Rutgers possibly making a bowl game. They've had a nice season. They destroyed Indiana last weekend, but folks, Indiana's the worst team in the Big Ten. It's not even close. Give me Penn State at home on the money line. We've got Iowa money line versus Illinois, so that's 3 straight Big Ten games. You know, Iowa, a lot of people kind of clowning them. They were ranked second, and they lose 2 games against some bad teams. They've gotten back on track. This is still a really good defense. This game, maybe 24-7. I mean, these 2 teams aren't scoring, let's be real. Illinois, by the way, Illinois had a decent season after a really bad start. I was thinking Illinois was the worst team in the Big Ten, but they've had some decent wins recently. But this weekend, it ain't going to happen. You're going to Iowa. Iowa knows they have to keep winning. They want to go to a good bowl game. Not all is lost for Iowa. This is still a program that can have a nice season. Yeah, you were ranked second. You were thinking about the playoff, but get back on track. You know, you've only lost 2 games here. You're probably not going to go to the Big Ten championship game, but you can still go to a really nice bowl game. Maybe the Music City Bowl. Ooh, that'd be interesting for Iowa. But give me them money line versus a bad Illinois team. Alabama money line versus Arkansas. Bama is 21-point favorites. I love the over in this game. This game has 42-28 written all over it. Alabama's offense is really going to want to get on track after that poor performance against LSU. Of course, Alabama last weekend, I guess had a good offensive performance, but it was against New Mexico State. Arkansas, on the other hand, a team, KJ Jefferson, they can score a little bit, but to me, this is Arkansas playing catch-up this entire game. Bama's virtually a lock to win this one. They know they have to win out if they want to make the playoff. Let's be real, folks. Give me Bama money line, another lock there. Michigan money line versus Maryland. You know something I always say about this Michigan team? They're a no-nonsense football team. This is a very well-coached defense, very well-coached team overall. They know they have to handle business. They're not going to be looking ahead too much to Ohio State. They have to win this game if they want a chance at the Big Ten championship game. Actually, that game's in Maryland, guys, by the way. It says verse, but it's actually in Maryland. But I still like Michigan. They're around 15-point favorites. I like them to cover that spread as well. They know what they have to do. Use that run game, use Hassan Haskins, and probably win like 41-21 or something like that. Wisconsin moneyline versus Nebraska. I just cannot see at this point Wisconsin losing these games. It's just they're driven right now. They know they're moving up the rankings in the college football playoff. You know, college football playoff committee is impressed. Even though they have 3 losses, they're almost inside the top 15. You win out, you go to the Big Ten championship game. You've got a chance, maybe if you win the Big Ten championship game, to go to the Rose Bowl. There's a lot on the line for this Wisconsin team. Nebraska, we know their story. They are better than the record says they are. Wisconsin's only around a 10-point favorite, so there's really good value on the money line, but I think Wisconsin to win the game is an auto lock. I cannot see this team losing at home the way they are playing. Yes, Nebraska's better than the record says they are. We understand that. We respect that. I was really the first one to make that even a trend, and then people copied it and they ruined it. But I'm just saying, Wisconsin money line versus Nebraska at home. What is this, a 3:30 game? I'll take that all day. BYU money line at Georgia Southern. BYU 20-point favorites in this game. Virtually a lock. I will say, I've said this before, I think the College Football Playoff Committee has overrated BYU. What are they ranked, like 15th or something? They're not that good. Come on now. But money line at Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern is terrible. This is an easy game. BYU playing these weird opponents. They are an independent, so they're going to be facing some weird opponents. 20-point favorites on the road. We'll just take you money line. Even if you have a even if BYU has a poor performance, that's why we love these money line 12-team parlays. Maybe they win 20-14. I still win the bet, guys. That's the point. You love seeing it. It is amazing. I never lose. I never lose with these guys. I never lose. Oh, whoops. I got a little happy there. And then we go to the NFL games. Browns money line versus the Lions. There's no way. The Browns coming off that terrible loss. There's no way you're going to come back and lose to the Lions. The Browns are still in the playoff hunt. You're in a wild card race. Really more the division. They need these wins. They're desperate. You're getting Nick Chubb back. You're going to lean on your running game. Detroit cannot throw the football at all. Jared Goff had 2 passing yards, it felt like, throughout the entire first half against the Steelers. I know it was bad weather, but folks, be real. This Detroit team is not good. I know they tied with them. If Big Ben was playing, I highly doubt that happens. So Browns money line, virtually an auto lock. Titans money line versus Texans. It feels like the Texans are tanking right now. They really don't have a chance in many of these games. Even if this game is closer, I think this game has a chance to be closer than people think it is. The Titans are around a 10-point favorite right now, but they're still going to win, folks. People overrate the loss of running backs, and while Derrick Henry is great, running backs, we all know it's kind of a touchy subject. When it comes to the NFL, not really that valuable. It's a touchy subject. We don't want to do that. But losing Derrick Henry, while he's a superstar, we get it. It's not as bad as a loss as you think it is. This is still a good team. What have they won? 6 in a row, Tennessee? You're at home against a bad team. You're 10-point favorites. Just get the win for me. And then the Bills money line versus the Colts. I love the Bills this week. I've said it. The Colts are frauds, ladies and gentlemen. They are frauds. I do not believe in Carson Wentz at all. The Bills will win this game by 14, I think. Bills, they're hitting their stride now. They had the big game the last week. Josh Allen's breaking out. He wants the MVP this year. We'll see if he can string together some big games. The NFL MVP race right now is really intriguing. It is completely wide open. There's about 6 or 7, maybe even 8 guys that have a chance at the MVP due to some recent bad performances. The situation with Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady playing terrible last week. Speaking of Tom Brady, I think the Buccaneers clearly will get back on track versus the Giants. I'll just take you money line. They're around, 13-point favorites maybe? They're massive favorites against the Giants at home. They've lost 2 straight games. You're talking about Antonio Brown coming back, maybe Gronk coming back. This is going to be a focused Tampa Bay Buccaneers football team. You got to feel bad for the Giants here this week. They're going to run into a buzzsaw. This game has 38-17 written all over it. Let's take a look at the overall bet, folks. There it is. Once again, all of these games just straight up money line. Just straight up money line. So you just need Louisville to beat Duke. Doesn't matter if it's by 1 point or by 50 points. Ohio State over Michigan State. Penn State over Rutgers. Really, that Penn State-Rutgers game is giving me some uneasy vibes right now. I don't know why. There's something about it. I'm smelling something. I don't like it. Hopefully Penn State can win that game. Iowa, Illinois. I like Iowa. Bama's a lock. Michigan's a lock. Wisconsin's a lock. BYU's a lock. Browns are a lock. Titans are a lock. Bills, again, the Colts are not bad. Bills are only 7-point favorites, but that's one of those games where I feel so confident because I think a team's a fraud. I think the Colts are frauds, and then the Buccaneers are a lock. So really, out of all those games, I think 10 of them are locks. The game, it's interesting. The Penn State-Rutgers game, I'm smelling something a little funny out of that one, but hopefully Penn State's able to win it. Just a fun 12-team parlay. You got to do it. It's a fun little thing to do. But guys, make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.